Welcome back. We are Podcast by Committee, 7th episode, and we're ready to have a blast with you guys, our committee. How are you guys doing this week?
I'm good.
Doing amazing, just like
We're
the committee.
good.
Just like
The committee's doing good.
good.
Committee's
Yeah.
doing good.
We hope you guys are doing
It
well
was,
because Keaton Mitchell is doing well. But we will
Yeah?
get into that
Oh,
later.
yeah.
His
We'll get to
hamstring
that
isn't.
Yeah, we will.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Not a bad.
Yeah.
A good week of football, you know? It was a good week of football.
I
man.
suppose.
So,
I enjoyed it.
I
Oh,
did.
besides the Colts, the
Ooh,
Colts got a little
Colts got
scam.
robbed.
They got
It
scammed.
was.
Colts
You know what?
got
We're gonna.
robbed.
I have a whole speech written for that later, so we're gonna.
Ooh, I'm
Uh,
excited
can't
for
wait
that,
to
man. I'm
hear
excited for that.
one.
Tell them
But
what
outside-
platforms we're on. Tell them what platforms we're on.
We are
Yeah.
on. We're on TikTok. Whoa, we're blowing
At
up on
follows.
TikTok. Let me
Yep.
tell you. Go
Have
follow
we had
us.
over
Podcast
10 likes
committee.
yet?
We have. We have like
No.
20 likes.
Actually, yes, we
Unbelievable.
have.
Yeah, we're balling out.
Let's go, man. Let's
We're on
go.
TikTok,
go.
Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, pretty much all social media and all podcasting platforms outside of that as well. Let's jump right into the news and notes. We'll start with the news. One thing did break today. We've got Kevin Byard, Titan safety, being traded to the Eagles for the other safety, Terrell Edmonds, a 2024 fifth-round pick and a sixth-round pick. So
That's tough, man. That's
Yeah.
tough.
that's tough.
It's just like,
I don't believe I have one word to say about that.
yeah, I
so?
think it's just the Eagles pretty clearly won that, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that's an
Yeah, I
all-pro
think it's
safety.
just
That's an all-pro
it's just
safety.
yeah. Eagles got better. Rich
Yeah.
got richer.
Yeah.
Which got richer. Titans, fire sale. It's a fire sale. I expect Derrick Henry
I
to be
hope.
traded at some point.
Please free
Please.
him.
Please, free Derrick Henry.
Where do you guys want to see him go?
Ooh.
Off
To
the
the
That's
dome?
actually-
home.
That's tough.
He's still got gas in the tank, man.
Man, Bills could be fun.
Nah.
Eagles, I don't think Eagles don't need him.
Send him to the
Yeah.
Texans, man. Send him
Yeah.
down there with.
Send him to
Send
the
him down with
Arizona
those boys.
Cardinals.
Hey.
Send him to the Arizona
I'd like to
Cardinals.
see it.
Hey, man.
Well, how about we get into notes? What do you guys got?
I want to talk about Lamar because Lamar had a really good game.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the
Yeah.
best game of his career,
Electric.
at least passing wise. Amazing.
Yeah, over 300 yards
And this
passing.
This was
He's
in a
great.
week that many quarterbacks struggled.
Mhm.
The only other one that I saw that was very good was Gardner Minshew, and he just had a few fumbles that tarnished
Yeah.
his record. But,
Mahomes had a good week. Mahomes had a good week.
Nah,
Yeah,
I
he
threw a
did have a
pick.
great week.
Nah, he threw a
Yeah.
pick. But,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Russell Wilson didn't throw a pick this week. Oh.
Oh.
Push the narrative.
It's because he probably
Helping
threw like
push my
4 passes.
narratives. And one. Is Lamar the MVP
Hey.
so far, though?
Dak did
I-
not throw a pick
Ooh.
this week.
You could
Yeah,
make
shut up,
the
Gary. No one
argument.
cares.
You could make the argument of a Lamar MVP so far after that game.
I think Lamar.
If he
I'm
remains
so
on
on the train.
the consistent passing pace that he's been doing well passing so far. If he can keep that consistently, like yardage wise, I think we could definitely see another Lamar MVP. I'd love to see it. That'd be awesome.
I love
I
Lamar, man.
disagree.
He might. Shut up.
I think it's Travis Etienne.
Oh, I thought you disagree that you want to see it.
Oh no,
No,
Like, you're like, I do
Travis
not.
Etienne.
I do not want to see
Electric.
Lamar win it.
honestly, ETN fantasy MVP maybe so far.
Oh
He's
my
been
gosh,
great.
dude, he's wild.
But we'll get to that. My notes. I am fully on the train that Brett Maher needs to be cut immediately. I pulled up the stats this past week. Obviously, he missed multiple kicks in the game against the Steelers. He was
Hey,
awful
he's
on the
my
Cowboys.
fantasy kicker. Let's be
He was terrible on the Cowboys, right, Graham?
gentle.
His
That's
field goal
true. I don't
percentage.
disagree with that.
His field goal percentage so far this season, 73.9, compared to a league average of 86.1%.
Oh,
That is
that's
unreal.
awful.
Extra point percentage, not as big of a difference, but still 92% compared to 97% of a league
Ooh.
average.
So before we started, you made a statement to both of us that you were going to compare a player to league average.
Yes,
So that player was Brett Maher.
that player is Brett Maher. Yes. that is
Okay.
correct.
Okay,
Rams,
here's my problem with that.
Rams
here's my
kicker
problem
Brett
with that.
Maher.
If he was getting you can't really compare kickers with the opportunities that they get. The Rams, they're not scoring as many touchdowns as the Eagles or the
He missed
49ers.
he missed 3 kicks this week. I just
Yeah.
don't care.
He has
He's
some
so
bad
bad.
weeks.
Put me out as a kicker, I would also have some bad weeks. Do I get to start for the Rams then? I better.
Well, you wouldn't have
Get me
any
a
good weeks.
contract.
You wouldn't have a single good week.
I
So
disagree. On
they
a
would
good
look at
day,
your combine. Your combine, you would be dead last in every single category.
Probably, yeah.
I could run a 3.5 40-yard dash.
You can't. You couldn't run a 3.5 10-yard dash.
Yes, I could. Yes, I could.
I don't think so.
Anyways, Brett
Wait.
Maher
All right, never mind.
sucks.
Yeah, you're still
Brett-
doing this.
Anyways, Brett Maher sucks.
The
We
amount
can
of
move
time you
on.
spent on Brett Maher.
Jameer Gibbs kind of arrived
Great.
this week.
No, go back. I want to talk about the Rams and Steelers.
Oh,
man.
sure. Yeah, man.
Do you think Pickett
So-
got it? Do you think Pickett got it?
No, he did not. It
I
wasn't
don't think
close.
so either. I don't think
I
it was
watched the
close
replay.
either.
Was not close. Kenny Pickett did not get that first down, and that sealed
No,
the
he
game for the
absolutely didn't.
Steelers.
I was enjoying
Yeah.
that game, man. I was loving
Yeah.
that game.
Yeah, and speaking of games that we enjoy that were ruined by penalties,
No,
how about the?
I
how
have
about
one more
the-
thing. One more thing.
Come
one
on.
more. I told you I had to push some backup tight end agendas.
All right, push your
And
backup
this
tight
is-
end agenda.
Darnell Washington
Yeah.
did not receive a target. Okay,
Correct.
53% snap percentage. You know who
And
had
he's
more
not
snaps
he's
than
not a
him?
backup right now because Pat.
You know?
Freiermuth is
Yes, he is.
Oh.
He is on the depth chart because Connor Hayward had 83 or 86% of the snaps.
Wow.
out. What?
Wow.
Connor
wow,
Hayward.
wow. That's
That is
surprising.
bonkers.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just in shock. Okay, go on your little
That's
tangent,
insane.
Joe.
All right, so I've got Jameer Gibbs, obviously great. Played a really good game. 9 receptions, good amount of rushing yards. Got his first career touchdown. Woot woot.
Yep.
My next thing, I wanted to ask you guys this question. Do you think, put yourself in the seat of the Buccaneers GM, would you re-sign Baker to like a $15 million deal next season to play quarterback?
I don't know. Depends.
I mean, do you
So
think he's a
far,
feasible
yeah.
option? Yeah.
I
Like,
think he's
for-
been fine.
I think he's been fine. I would sign him to another 1-year deal. I just think he's
Yeah.
solid in that system.
Me
And
Joe,
the way the
me and Joe
timeline
were
of the
watching that
team-
game.
Yeah.
And,
I think the
we
timeline
saw
of the team,
the touchdown pass to Mike Evans was
That was
absolute
nice. That was nice.
It was good.
slinger.
He might be like top 15, you know?
I guess. It's just, the timeline of the team
With
fits
quarterbacks,
what he is.
It's a weird timeline of that.
Yeah,
That
it
team
is-
has
it
a
is a
weird
weird timeline.
timeline.
'Cause
Which Mike Evans is probably gone after the season.
I mean, they won the Super
So-
Bowl and they kept almost every
Are you
single
entering
player.
like a pseudo rebuild for the time?
No.
A mini rebuild?
Ma-
you think?
Maybe a mini rebuild.
Not when they
but-
have
so,
this solid foundation of Baker Mayfield at the helm.
Oh, okay.
I mean, so many pieces of that defense are still there. I don't really see
Yeah.
a huge undertaking, but maybe a mini rebuild. But
But why would they? Isn't Kyle Trask still on that roster?
he is.
Why would they not just play him? I present you that question.
The question is, why
I was a
would
Kyle-
they play Kyle
I was
Trask?
on the start Kyle Trask train. The Trask train, that's a good name for it. Before the season started.
Is it?
He was a first rounder for the solid first half of his last season, and
He really was. He really was. And I was a Trask fan.
And then that bowl game hit where he threw like
Yeah.
4 interceptions.
It was a bad game for him. I think you still give him a chance at some point, but Baker's playing very
Why not,
well
man?
right now.
Nope.
I just
If you get eliminated from the playoffs, let Kyle Trask cook, man.
Week 18, Kyle Trask legacy game. I can see it.
Please.
Another thing I've written down: Javonte Williams had a pretty good game on the ground.
The
mean,
the whole running back.
Yeah,
All the
Yeah,
running
they
backs.
all
had-
had like
Jaleel
decent
McLaughlin was good.
yardage.
Samaje Perine ripped off like a few big
I mean,
runs.
like
Run game was good.
Yardage wise, Javonte wasn't phenomenal, but I mean, averaged 5 yards a carry. Like he looked really
yeah.
good on the field.
Mhm.
Looked great.
He's
breaking
coming
tackles.
back. He's coming back. And
That's
Quinn
really good
Miners
to see.
Quinn Miners might be the best run blocking guard in the league, man. I mean, he's great.
Yeah,
He's great, man.
I just picked
Um,
Javonte up off waivers in one of my leagues. So
What?
I'm pretty. Yeah.
What?
What league
It's
had
insane.
What
insane.
league?
Was it like a
It's a
4 man?
It's a 10-teamer. It's a
Oh my
10-teamer.
gosh! Some people
Somebody
say
dropped Javonte.
PSA
Okay.
don't drop.
And so I
Javonte
dropped
Williams.
Zach Evans for Javonte Williams.
Well, I forgot to set one of my lineups, so I ended up starting Jaleel McLaughlin and Javonte Williams. This week.
Wow, nice.
So-
Honestly,
Hey,
not
but that's
bad.
a good turnout. That's a solid turnout.
I know,
Can
it wasn't
we-
bad. I might win.
Can we talk about the officiating now?
Yes,
Good
you can.
time.
Yep, I'll just
Alright.
take out my earbuds and you can
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
I'll-
I'll just sit here and
This will
sound-
be
go
at
ahead and
least-
skip 10 minutes. Everybody, all of our fans, all of the loyal ones out there.
It'll be at least 10 minutes. So, I mean, I think a lot of us know how the Colts game went down. The first penalty was like illegal touching on the corner, Baker. That I can let slide. Whatever. Who
I don't think it
cares?
was. I think he just got snapped, man. Like,
Oh,
just,
yeah, he got
violated.
up.
But I don't know
that-
if he.
But that wouldn't have lost us the game. We were in the middle of a generational goal line stand. And then on an uncatchable pass, they called pass interference.
No one's
Uncatchable.
catching that.
And the rule is it has to be a catchable pass 3 feet away from his arms in the back of the end zone. They call pass
More
interference.
than 3, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
It might have been like 6. You
And
might
they
put
him on the
it
1
was
yard line.
far.
And they
Yeah, it was
still can't
unbelievable.
score for 3 plays, and then they run it in for a touchdown. So, I mean, we played a great game. The whole team was playing well. We got robbed of a win. The
Yeah,
officiating,
you guys got robbed.
the officiating,
Absolutely.
it's been really, really bad this season. I think
This week was the worst, I think, of it.
Oh, absolutely.
I think I saw a lot of bad
Oh, it
calls.
was horrible.
obviously the Rams-Steelers game got affected. 2 great
Yeah.
games. Maybe the
There
2
was
best games of the week.
There's some questionable calls on the Eagles-Dolphins last night, but also 2-score game. Who cares?
Yeah.
But
I just think it's about time for NFL fans to actually start advocating for referee suspensions, referee investigations, and the average NFL fan. Let me talk to you for a second. Can I address the crowd? This is like
we
a
don't have
fire.
average fans. We only have avid fans on
Committee.
this podcast.
Can I address the committee for a second? It is
No.
time, NFL fans, to rise up. We're not going to stand for poor officiating. You pay money for NFL Sunday Ticket, for NFL Plus, for YouTube TV. It is time to rise up, which is why I
You know what I
suggest
think?
that as a podcast, we start our own football league. We start our own football league,
okay.
and we hold tryouts.
You know what I think they should do though?
What?
With all this like AI analysis stuff, they shouldn't make them the referees, but they should use that as a measuring stick to how many errors you can have as as a referee. If the AI says, "Oh, this was a really, really bad call," then
Well, my thing about like
it's a bit
my thing about like Kenny Pickett being short and like just those like marking and like individually, why can't we use the same technology as soccer? Like, what's preventing us from doing that? Because they get it by like you're like the elbow on your like skin is slightly offsides in soccer, and they can automatically call that in 2 seconds. So why
That's
can't?
correct.
And they can give you 10 minutes, and we can't have any computers or anything they can tell us.
I mean, it's
I feel like
unreal
we
that
could
that
work
call
on that.
was made.
Yeah.
The thing is, the thing that they say about football is that, oh, we couldn't see it from the angles we were given. Let's make the entire field a camera. Just constantly zooming in on the players.
Oh, okay.
Smart. No more
moving
fans.
around. Yeah, no more fans.
Just one
Every
big
fan-
camera.
Every fan has to carry a camera. They have to like hold a camera so you have every angle.
Smart.
And they all have to send it to the referees all at once when they have
Like at all times, be sending new film into the referees,
Yeah.
and they have to sort through every angle.
Yeah,
That's probably unrealistic, I would
Yeah,
say.
that'd be
probably
stupid.
unrealistic.
That's
I
stupid.
don't think
But-
we do that.
But
We would
let's
never start
stand.
our
Let's
league.
rise. I agree. Joe just
Rise
called
up.
us to rise.
We are not standing for this anymore. The Colts
We're
were
not.
wronged.
We're sitting.
The Rams were wronged. It's disgusting officiating. But away from all the rants and rambling, let's move into fantasy MVP. Logan, kick us off.
So my guy had 14 targets,
Wow.
12 catches.
Wow.
Wow.
I know
On
who it
wow.
is. He's a legend.
Thursday night football,
Mm.
29 points. Alvin Kamara. Why?
Nice.
Why?
Absolutely balled
Why?
out.
Why are you giving him 14 targets? I don't know. I hate Alvin Kamara as a player, man. I hate watching him. I think he's overrated. But
Yeah.
fantasy-wise, you can't deny the production.
Sure.
The
He's
thing
great.
that I hate about Alvin Kamara is it's not his fault, but every time the announcers are like, "And look at this play," where they always announce that he like stops and just stands still. You know how he does that thing?
Yeah.
When he's
Yeah.
on a screen, he stops it. I hate that when they bring that up constantly. I'm like, that's just a normal move. I don't know.
He's just like
thing
not
about-
that good of a runner, but he's
Yeah.
a fine player who just gets a lot of
Yeah.
targets, man. And
The thing
respect
about,
to him. He's making
in
money.
fantasy, when you get a guy
Legendary
coming back from
game.
suspension, in fantasy, you're really a lot of times worried about the production at first. He's been really, really good since he came
He's
back
been
fantasy
great.
wise.
I mean, he came back and they gave him like 8 targets immediately.
Yeah,
So
I mean, he's worked right back into the game plan. So really good for Alvin Kamara fantasy investors. Really paid off.
I bet his like all-time point differential from like standard to PPR scoring has to be crazy. You know?
Oh yeah.
He might be all-time rank in his differential.
Like half of his touches are receptions, which is just
and
crazy.
he'll put up like 14 catch 60-yard games, and like that's great, man.
Yeah.
I'll move on to my MVP. Pretty basic. It's Lamar Jackson. 357 passing yards, 36 rushing yards, and 4 total touchdowns. He looks great on the field and in the box score. Just a really great MVP caliber game from Lamar. His receivers didn't drop the passes this time. Really connected down the field, and as a runner was good too, and made the red zone plays when he needed to make them. Great in the pocket as usual, and getting out of the pocket. So Lamar is my fantasy MVP.
Graham, what's yours?
Yep.
Graham.
So I had one written down,
Graham.
and this player did great, but I've said him before. He's on one of my teams. I'm not going to say his name. There's a guy
Wow.
who I love, and I told you guys to pick him up off waivers, and we really advocated for him as a podcast. That man is Josh Downs, and what an electric week he had.
Oh yes, very good.
He is a player
Very, very good.
who was projected very low and scored very high. So I think that makes him an MVP. I think he had like 21 points in a non-PPR or half PPR format. So a lot of yards, a lot of good plays. That guy is good.
I mean, he looks electric on the field. He emerged as a deep threat as well a little bit, and he's been consistent. I mean, 2 touchdowns in 2 weeks. He looks like Gardner's favorite so far, so definitely worth a pickup, at least if he's not already picked up on a roster. So there's Josh Downs.
Yeah.
Is Gardner a weird name?
Gardner? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know any other? That's a weird name. Okay.
It's a weird name, yeah.
Minshew too. Minshew.
Yeah, I know, but I've never just said his first name and been like thought
It's
about
Gardner.
it. You know, that's a weird
Cool
name.
dude. He's a cool
Cool
dude.
name. Honestly, I like the name.
Yeah.
I like it. I respect him.
Yeah, I
man.
don't hate it.
I guess I'll kick us off with Bust. Fantasy Bust?
No, I
Bust?
will. I will.
Okay. Okay, then.
I'm
sorry, sir.
passionate about this. I'm passionate.
No,
I'm
about
go.
going
this.
second.
You got it. Okay, fine then. Fine.
This is a guy I wake up every Sunday looking to
Sure.
watch him. I'm
Yeah.
excited to watch him. You know, I turn on the TV. Oh, I can't believe what he's gonna do today. Where is he? What? Why isn't he playing? This guy,
Oh, man.
but he's got to be hurt, right? What? He's in the game. Why aren't they giving him the ball?
Yeah, it's
And so I'm like, oh, he's a little sicky. They say that he's just not going to get a carry.
he was sick.
Whatever. He's going to get 0. No. I'm talking about Bijan Robinson. Not 0, 0.3, because
They
on
gave
the
him-
last drive, they decided to give flu game Bijan Robinson, probably to like stifle the NFL's suspicion that they're like breaking rules or whatever. Do you see they're investigating that though?
Yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, they give him a carry for 3 yards, and then
Ugh.
it's rubbing it in my face. Arthur Smith,
Terrible.
probably
So
my 2
sad.
favorite players in the league. Probably two of my 3. I would say Lamar, and then Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson are my 3 non-Bronco favorite players in the
Man,
league.
what a top 3.
Wow.
And he's got them in purgatory. Free them. I love Arthur Smith as a head coach,
I did too.
but I love Bijan and Kyle Pitts too much.
It was rough Logan and I are both Bijan fantasy owners. There was nothing said before the game. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
It was
Nothing
Shot in
said
the dark.
until like the end of the first quarter.
yeah.
And then you're
Yeah.
like, hold on, guys, let's look back at this. Why
He's
is Cordero Patterson getting more carries?
Yeah.
I was worried it was like he's in the doghouse situation, but nope. He was feeling bad that day.
It's like in Retro Bowl when he was playing Retro Bowl during team meetings, you know?
Oh
And
my gosh.
Arthur Smith decided to punish him instead of reward him.
All right,
Oh,
Graham,
the
who's
team
your
morale.
who's your bust, Graham?
All right, so my bust. This is a boomer bust guy. He just had a bust of a week. This is Gabe Davis. He had 1 reception for 6 yards.
I think was
What
he a
pitiful
start of mine last
performance.
week?
He was it was Logan.
He was a start.
That is brutal. How many points did he get?
1 point something.
1.6 in full PPR format.
That is so
He had
sad.
abysmal.
two targets in the end zone at least. I saw him get 2 end zone
Yep.
targets.
But I guess I'll hit my bus next. I got Calvin Ridley. I mean, that dude was running cardio out on the field. 4 targets.
He almost had a great catch.
4 targets, 1 reception, 5 yards. He's been really disappointing. Maybe not as a season, but very inconsistent.
I don't know.
It's kind of a gamble to start him.
Yeah. It is a gamble. It is a gamble to start him. I get it. But I mean, he's had some really good games and some really bad games.
Yeah.
So at this point, it is a tough start. It is a tough start because which Calvin Ridley are you going to get? Are you going to get 120 yards and a touchdown, or are you going to get 10 yards on 5 targets? It's been a weird season for Calvin Ridley.
With the reappearance of Jamal Agnew in this offense,
shut up!
I'd be worried going forward.
No
and Tim Jones,
Tim Jones.
Look out, world! Look out!
Oh man,
Britton Strange might take some targets too, man.
I hope he does.
Yeah.
I hope he does.
Just maybe.
Evan Ingram is underrated, by the way. Evan Ingram, he's a great tight end.
Evan Ingram's great, man.
He's great. Let's move into a little bit of fun segment. So flag football is announced as a new Olympic sport in the 2028 Olympics, and we decided to make our own dream 2028 flag football teams. So just so you know, we're predicting who will be good in the 2028 season. So Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill might not be on this list. They're probably going to be retired by then. But Graham, kick us off.
Don't say that too fast now.
Oh gosh,
I would say retired. Retired, maybe not.
Don't say that. Don't say that old players won't make my.
He'll only be like 34.
No, Tyreek said he's probably going to retire. He said he's going to.
Oh yeah, he said after this contract, right?
Yeah. So he'll probably be on.
Let's
Graham,
start us off. I'm excited for you.
All right, I'm going to kick us off. This is a team that I've put together, and realistically, our goal with this team is to. I mean, what's the goal of the Olympics? It's to unite the nations.
Oh.
Unite the nations.
I thought it was to win.
We are bringing everyone together in one place. We want this to be an event of the century, okay?
Yeah.
All right, let's get started.
Okay.
Oh, no.
One of my few actual football player starters is my quarterback. And I'm so proud to say this, Taysom Hill. For the same reason that the Saints use him, he's the greatest athlete of all time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And another plus is he'll be 38, which we all know is an athlete's prime age.
Yeah.
And just look at Julio Jones. He's putting up career numbers in Philadelphia.
Is Julio your next player?
No, Julio's not on. He didn't make it. He's an honorable mention, but he was
just
close.
Outside in 2020.
Believe it or not, we found someone older than him. All right, and then at our center, this might be my proudest find. Oh man, I stumbled across this. I don't know how, because his stat line dates back. Our center, John Brower Minnick, the world's heaviest man, weighing in at 1,400 pounds towards the end of his career/life. My goal is to plop him down. My goal is to plop him down in front of Taysom so the D-backs can't see his eyes or movements. They can't see him at all. And the trick plays from behind him would be insane. I also don't need him to move, meaning even though he passed in 1983, he can still be a game changer today. He can still be a revolutionary player. All right, and then we're moving on to the tight end 1/wide receiver 1, Baby Gronk. This kid's going to be a menace in 2028.
Baby Gronk.
Absolute menace.
Can you tell fans who Baby Gronk is if they don't know?
They know. And they will know.
It's basically a fourth grader.
Hold on, don't get too into it. I'll explain a little bit later.
For mossing other fourth graders.
Yeah, but he's a big kid.
He's not a big kid.
He has offers.
No, he doesn't.
He's about to get an offer.
They are not real offers. I can guarantee it. They're not.
They're 100% real offers, and he's about to get one from the United States of Flippin' America.
Please
to go to the
look up Baby
Olympics
Gronk.
in 2028.
Will he be 14 at that point?
Hey,
14.
Cool it, man. Cool it. That's my tight end 1. That's my wide receiver 1. Hopefully after he rizzes up Livy Dunn, she'll come to the games and
Shut up. Shut
and boost
up.
our morale. Hopefully, she'll come to the games and boost the morale. All right,
Our
for all the players that
non-Gen
want
Z
to see it.
fans will not understand this. It is like
All right,
gibberish.
all right. We'll move on from that. All right.
Please.
Here's another actual football player. Okay.
Oh.
Well, former.
Oh, God.
So to balance out Baby Gronk's youth, right? We've got to have someone who's matured.
Yeah.
Let's just say. So Terrell Owens, 5-time All-Pro first team. He's one of the greatest receivers of all time in many people's opinions.
I feel like wouldn't be that bad.
The ripe age of 54.
Yeah.
His knowledge will be massive.
Yeah.
A massive benefit, and he can pass that on to Baby Gronk, who's our star player. If you were
Over
wondering.
under. He
And
throws
then,
his back out 2.5 times. Throws his back out.
I'm taking the under. I believe in him.
Wow.
Hey, he wanted to play. So what's
He
to say
did.
in 5 years he won't still want to play at the age of 54?
Something is to say. He is to say.
And then we come in at wide receiver 3. This is our last offensive player. It's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. There's nothing much to say there.
Eagles
nothing
wide
else to
receiver
say.
bust. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside,
else
who
to
was
say there.
somehow
Now
a
tight end.
second-round pick. Now tight end. Who was somehow a second-round pick and did literally nothing in his NFL career. Wow.
Yeah, he's
That
a good
is-
start.
Is he?
And so then, as we move into to defense, this is where it gets a bit crazy. So just hang with me. I'm going for something here. I'm going for a scare factor. I'm going for a crowd wower because we're so confident in our offense that we're ready for some defensive.
I think we're nearing on
prowess.
30 minutes for this segment right now.
All right. Our safety, heading it up at the back. This is kind of just a mid player. Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son, is so repulsive that no receiver would dare run a deep route on him. The only downside is the morale drop. Obviously, the morale drop, because that kid is a menace. And then to kind of offset that loss in morale, you know, there's been a big couple in the NFL that's kind of been pushed.
Oh.
So what
Who
do
is
we
it?
do there?
I've never heard of this.
We bring in Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Taylor Swift is our first cornerback.
Nice.
And why? So we can get Travis Kelce at the games. And that'll bring a lot of support from the fans.
Wow, that's
And that'll kind of like bring something into the relationship. You know, we've talked a lot about marriage. I consider myself and you all both professionals in the marriage department.
Sure.
I just hope this boosts their relationship just that little bit more. And you know what?
Well-
that unites us as all the nations. That's very
Yeah.
uniting.
She's just so amazing.
And you know what? She's going to be trouble for them wide receivers. Am I right?
Well,
They won't be
when
able
she
to find
comes
a
on
blank
the-
space around her. Am I right?
Oh!
Well, she's coming on the podcast next week, so she'll be able to tell us all about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
She'll be able to explain
We'll
this.
see you. We'll see you next week, Taylor. Graham, who's next?
And this next, my DB2 is a very proud pick of mine. He's actually listening to this right now.
Whoa.
Right now as we record, he's listening. So now, obviously, we need someone with a lot of experience because Taylor Swift is inexperienced. She doesn't have all the football knowledge, everything. So we bring in a recreational football legend in Joe Burks. Joe Burks.
Oh
let's get it.
wow!
Oh,
Joe Burks.
wait. Did I
Our very own. You got drafted. You're drafted.
I got drafted? Is this like?
You got drafted. You're DB2 right behind Taylor Swift.
when like COVID was happening and they came to their house to present the guys with Hall of Fame busts? Like, is this what's happening right
Joe,
now?
Yeah,
Joe,
that's you.
I want your moment to be. You're coming off the bench. It's late in
Sure.
the game. You're coming
Yeah.
off the bench as the DB2, and you line up against J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. You look across. You see Taylor Swift. You know this is my time. And you absolutely moss J.J. Arcega-Whiteside in the end zone for a pick that saves the game.
It seems like
and
Taylor Swift
the reasoning why,
makes players play better.
What's JJ stand for?
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
It's like Juan Jose, or it's like Jose.
Why do you know this?
You know?
I looked him up.
It's Jose Hakeem. Hakeem.
Hakeem?
Oh.
Yeah.
Jose Hakeem. Yeah,
Just
so
wondering.
the reasoning why I took you, Joe,
Yeah.
is because we all know you're known for the CMU Miracle, the band football legendary drive.
Shut up.
Took us to the band football championship.
Yeah. No one knows what
And
this
Joe
is.
has dabbled. Joe's dabbled around at quarterback, wide receiver,
True.
and defensive back, so we know he's
Yeah,
the real
he has.
deal.
Yeah, as three
He's
former
kinda like-
marching band members, we have all played backyard football at marching band competitions. I'm
Yeah.
the greatest of all time. That's all I
no,
gotta
okay.
say.
I put up numbers in the slot last year, but
Logan, you got thrown to the ground by me last year. Absolutely juked out of your boots.
you remember when I threw that kid's rib out? Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
You actually you did.
Congrats.
Wow.
Champion.
He was 2
And
years
Joe-
younger than you.
My NFL comp, who's also on the team for you, is Taysom Hill, but you're just slightly better. You're more versatile than Taysom.
Yeah.
Hill.
I think, and I'm a
just
better
got that-
athlete. I'm a
Yeah,
more experienced
probably.
football player. I think.
And 20 years younger, so.
Give me an
Yeah.
Oklahoma
You'll be
drill
in prime
versus Derrick
age.
Henry. Give me an Oklahoma drill versus Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
He is not only going to the ground; he will tear every ligament in his body. It'll be
Is that a threat?
hard to watch is an understatement. I think. Hard to fathom, I think, is more correct.
Fathom.
And fathom. It's hard to fathom because it'll be that bad. But Graham,
And
you got
Joe,
anything
you're not
left?
even allowed to wear pads anymore. Like you're too
Yeah, I'm
strong.
just-
They've
yeah.
decided that you can't wear a helmet. That evens it out. So,
Okay,
but that's
fair.
where you come in and flag football. That's going to be crazy.
I'm in.
All right. And then my third defensive back,
Wow.
J.C.
this
Jackson,
is-
just so we can be behind those two. It's purely out of spite. It's purely out of spite at this point for J.C. Jackson.
We don't like J.C. Jackson.
Actually, I'm quite
So
fond
yeah,
of it.
and then my rusher is Micah Parsons. So,
Oh, okay. I like that.
my
That's a
rusher's Micah
normal
Parsons.
thing.
All right, Joe, you can finish it off.
Can I go?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow,
go ahead,
I'm
Joe.
gonna take 1/40th of the time Graham did to do this.
Okay.
I picked actual players.
I did too.
Nice. So this will be a 30-minute segment with Logan
Breath
and I
of fresh
taking
air,
up 4
some might
minutes.
say.
Some, all. My quarterback, it's gonna be Mahomes. He's still gonna be good by the time 2028 rolls
Nah.
around.
He threw a
It's-
pick this week.
Oh, sorry,
You didn't know.
he did throw a pick this week. Justin Jefferson, borderline unguardable. Obvious pick a wide receiver, and then I've
word
got Garrett
borderline.
Wilson. I think he'll be a really some of himself probably as a top 5 receiver by this point when he actually gets a quarterback that's not Zach Wilson. Obviously, Sauter's rookie year. And I've got Chris Olave as my next pick. I think he's going to be in the same boat when he gets a good quarterback over in New Orleans. Deep threat, elite player, 1,000 yards rookie season. I love Chris Olave. And then Jamar Chase. I mean, another basic pick.
Yeah, boring. Who plays
And
center
then-
on this team?
My center would probably. I'd have to go. Jamar
They don't
Chase.
block.
Creed Humphries.
No, they don't. They can go.
They kind of do a little toss in there.
Yeah. So my defense consists of Michael Parsons, just like Graham. I've got Trevon Diggs because to beat the Lithuanians, we'll need a ball hawk. So
True.
so
If I know
Trevon
the
Diggs is my
Lithuanian
ball hawk.
strategy,
Yeah, which we do.
I do. Trust me.
We stole the playbook. I've got
That's why
Pat
Taylor Swift is
Surtain.
on.
Pat Surtain the second lockdown man-to-man corner.
Yeah, he is. Was Riley Moss on there?
He is not the
Oh,
only white
yeah.
corner in the league. I've got Sauce Gardner.
But Damari Mathis is, right?
He got benched this week.
Wow.
That's why we won.
I've got Sauce Gardner, and then another he could play a little bit of coverage, but he could also blitz. I've got Nick Bosa because I think he's fast enough to cover some guys that are from other countries because we just have the best athletes in the world in America. So give me Nick Bosa as a more versatile player.
No, wow.
So yeah, that's my team. Logan,
Are you ready
got
for
it.
this? Okay.
Yeah.
So I went with some guys off the map because I think, we shouldn't send our A team. We should give the world a chance. Okay.
Sure.
So I put Chubba Hubbard at center.
Oklahoma
Okay.
State
Chubba Hubbard?
legends.
I put also in case he gets hurt, Chase Brown is gonna be my backup.
Okay, so we're just picking
Oh.
backup running backs.
No, and then my receivers are gonna be Josh Palmer, John Mechie, and N'Keal Harry.
Oh, N'Keal
quarterback?
Harry!
We're gonna put the
Yes.
best quarterback in KC on this team, Nathan
So
Rourke.
you just
Nathan
Wow.
Rourke at quarterback. Yeah.
Nathan Rourke, Jackson.
And they're going to cook. The defense doesn't need to be good, but for my quarterbacks, I'm going Benjamin St. Juste and De'Am Leonard, of course.
Yes,
Safeties
sir.
are going to be Javon Holland. And how do you get chemistry with the team? You get Chase Brown's brother, Sidney Brown, from the Eagles.
Oh yeah, they are brothers. I forgot about that.
And then my rusher is going to be Tavius Robinson, edge rusher for the Ravens. Would you guys feel represented as Americans from that team?
I think.
No, you wouldn't. Guess what? This is the Canadian national team, baby.
Did you actually?
No.
Are you playing music right now? Are you playing?
No.
This is a plot twist, to say the least. I thought he was gonna do a bit with just okay players.
Yeah, you guys didn't know.
Logan,
I thought you were doing a bit.
Those
you
were
better
all
be
Canadian.
scared that you're playing. You better be scared that you're playing Team America.
My guys are going up against your guys. Nathan Rourke and Josh Palmer.
You think Benjamin Saint-Just can guard Baby Gronk in 2028? You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
Yeah.
Baby Gronk's gonna be 300 pounds, out of shape. Still shaves his head and tries to call Livy Dunn, but she doesn't pick up.
You know that clip you always see of Tom Brady and his highlight reel of Randy Moss?
Yeah.
That's gonna be Nathan Rourke and John Mechie in 2028 for Team Canada.
How dare you draft for Team Canada?
Benjamin St-Just, a couple weeks ago, first career interception. So
Yep, and he's gonna get 6 more of those on Taysom Hill in the Olympics.
Agreed.
He has a French last name, so that could be Canadian.
Yeah, I'm very proud of my team.
Let's finally move on to the next segment, which is coaching hot seat. I've got a good amount of coaches. I want you guys to tell me if you would consider firing them at the end of the season, wouldn't consider it, or if they're just gone mid-season.
Hot,
if you were
warm, cool, cold, I say.
Yeah. Okay.
And would you, with every coach that you state, would you also state their team for the listeners?
Yes.
They know. They're not
First up,
they know.
Bill Belichick, Patriots head coach. What do you think?
Cold. They won't.
Would
He's
you
not.
though? I'm asking.
I wouldn't. No. He's not He's definitely not the problem. He's still all right. He just has a not good team.
Okay.
He is. I could see. I might take away his GM powers. I might do that.
Okay.
I don't know if I would.
Yeah.
That would be
interesting.
Next
Robert
up, Robert Saleh.
He has another year. He's got another year.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I mean, he got his quarterback taken.
See how he does with Aaron out there.
Yeah.
Sean Payton.
He's got another year too.
You think?
Yeah, he's just got too much history. I think we're going to give him another year. Especially.
Yeah. You can't get rid of him.
You can't, and you spent a first-round pick on him. You give him another year, at least.
Brandon Staley.
Hot seat, fire him now. I'd fire him tomorrow. I would send him to the gallows at the end of every game.
Graham, what do you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's nothing else that needs to be
Graham
said.
knows.
It's not even close.
Okay. How about Josh McDaniels, Raiders?
Yeah, he's gone after this year, I think.
Okay. So we've gone through.
The Raiders have consistently looked like one of the worst teams I've ever said.
It's hot.
Yeah.
It's hot.
So we've gone through Patriots, Jets, Broncos, Chargers, Raiders. This one I think is cold. Mike Vrabel, Tennessee Titans.
No.
Yeah, I think it's still cold.
I don't.
He's a good head coach. The team just isn't.
All right.
It's warming up. I think it's warmer than it's been in the past, but I still think he's still got
a long leash.
He's a long shot. Yeah.
How about Commanders head coach Ron Rivera?
It's warming up, man.
Yeah,
I think it's about time.
I'd say
because it was his decision to ride with Sam Howell, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It was.
I'm pretty sure.
So,
I think it's about time.
I think it could be. I think he has till the end of the year. I think they'll give him till the end of the year.
Yeah, but I think that's it. If
I don't think
don't turn around.
He won't be. He won't be a mid-season fire, but end of the year definitely.
I just don't see the Commanders being good.
No. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Well, no,
they just aren't that well built of a team.
Next up, I got Giants head coach Brian Daboll.
It's warming, man. I was beginning of the season. You told me we'd be 6 weeks in the season, and he would, be on the hot seat. I don't think he's on the hot seat.
He was coach of the year last year. I mean, it's out of the blue.
Mike Schilt was the St. Louis Cardinals manager of the year, and then got fired that offseason.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The Mike Schilt comp is crazy.
So it's heating up for
Hashtag
Brian
bring back
Dable.
Mike Schill. I miss him.
How about Bears head coach, former Colts defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus?
But he's gone. He's
You
going
think
to be.
so?
He won't make it to the end of the season. I don't think.
I think,
right? There's
I
no
think
way
he
he
will.
does.
I
You think he
the Bears
does?
are
I
going to
think
go through 4 more head coaches.
I think he makes it to the end of the
every
season.
year.
Who do
I
they
think
try to
makes
get? Who do you think the Bears try to get?
Ooh,
Who should
that's
be?
actually-
Who should they try to get? It's Ben Johnson, right? I think it's Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson's probably the biggest coaching candidate in the league, if I had to
Right.
guess.
And I think if they have the number 1 pick, I mean,
Yeah.
Ben Johnson's probably going to want to go there.
Next
Oh, I
up,
thought you
this,
meant they trade the number 1 pick
Oh, yeah.
for Ben.
Yeah.
this one's actually pretty interesting. Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell.
I think it's. Again, I think he has at least till the end of the season. I don't
Agreed. I think he has another year after this easily.
really.
I
I think
mean-
he could be
Yeah.
fired in the offseason. If they are like considerably not competing this year, like not competing for playoffs, like if they're a bad team, I think like they're top 10
I would
picking
give
team,
him. I would give
But I
him.
That
think-
division is bad. That
I know.
division is bad.
and you should be able to take be
Yeah.
able to take advantage, and they should win the division with that team. They should win the division, but so I think if they don't, it could be a little hot seat, you know.
Yeah. This one
Yeah.
this one pains me to say. Former Colts head coach Frank Reich for the Panthers now. What do you think?
I think you got.
He just has
He could be
nothing,
gone.
though.
He could be
could
gone by
be
the end of the
gone.
season.
He could be, but if they, I don't know, man, he's just in a bad situation. I feel.
I think
Yeah.
he'll get at least the rest of the year. After that,
I
I'm not
think
sure.
that's how I lean. I think you give him the rest of the year, you reassess, you look back, and
Yeah,
you might ask Bryce Young. You're like, you want him? You know?
it's
Yeah.
Bryce Young's choice.
Yeah, maybe just give Bryce Young the choice.
The last one, I think this one definitely depends on how the season finishes because it's kind of hard to tell right now. But New Orleans Saints head coach Dennis Allen.
Oh, get him out of there. I
Yeah.
don't like Dennis Allen.
Really?
He's ugly.
Okay, well, that's
Yeah.
blatant.
That's it. That's how we fire people.
That's
Yeah.
blunt, man. I agree. I think Dennis Allen should have been gone probably last season, but
Yeah.
he is still here, so that's what it is.
Dude, I like the Saints, though.
I'm big
They
old
have
Lante
an
Taylor
amazing
fan.
defense.
Me too. I would love a lot to do.
Amazing defense, fun offense in
Yeah.
some spots. I love Taysom Hill. If I haven't said that enough, he's
I don't like him
one of the
that
most fun players to
I love
watch.
it. I love
One of the
Taysom Hill
most
too,
fun
man.
players.
I don't like him that much. I'm not a huge Taysom Hill fan. I gotta be honest.
Oh, I love him.
I don't
You know
think
the
Jamal
Packers
Williams
drafted
fan.
him.
Really?
I knew
Dang,
that,
they missed
but
out.
he never.
Yeah.
I guess he never played a game because, like, on like one of those grids today I was doing, it was Packers and Saints, and I was like Taysom Hill. I guess he
Yeah.
never played a game, but he was drafted there. I think he got cut before the season started. But
No.
Can I just say something really fast?
Oh,
Something
please.
just happened in one of my leagues that I just got an alert for. I'm going to let you guys decide if this was a good trade or not, because I know the answer already.
oh, live trade reaction.
Live
Live.
trade. All right. So we got this guy is sending Calvin Ridley, Rashad Bateman.
Okay,
Um,
that's
okay.
no.
What
that's
tier
no
of
one.
player? What tier of player
Ah.
do you think he is receiving? It's
It's
one
got-
player.
I'm-
One player.
It's got to be. Is it really bad or really good? That's what I have to decide. Is it like Dalvin
It's-
Cook? That should be like a no with Calvin
It's
Ridley.
Michael Thomas. It's Michael Thomas.
Oh,
It's Michael Thomas?
oh,
Yeah, it's Michael Thomas for Calvin Ridley and Rashad Bateman. Off a good week. Rashad Bateman off a good week.
Calvin
Calvin-
Ridley guy wins, I think.
Well,
And,
yeah, the guy who gets Calvin Ridley wins badly.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of
Like,
crazy.
it's a player
Maybe
with
he
actual upside.
He's sick of the
Compared to Michael
inconsistency,
Thomas.
so he wants the most
Oh.
consistent 7 points he'll ever get in his life.
Points a game. Yeah.
So true.
I'm sorry, that's just insane.
Um,
Like,
can I move on to the surprise segment? I've got a surprise.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's got a
Oh,
surprise. We don't even know what this is.
Whoa! Surprise question of the week. What?
no.
Hold on. I
wanna
gotta play a
know-
clip real fast.
Wow,
Click
that's
the wrong
you.
one, but that one works.
Do you guys think? I want to know what you guys' opinions on this. Fantasy wise, how do Puka Nakua and Cup relate to each other for the rest of the season? Who do you think is the 1A? Who's the 1B? Who does better? Because at this point, it's looking kind of inconsistent. Who do you think one significantly outperforms the other, or do you think it's a closer gap? I just want to know your guys' thoughts.
It's not
Logan.
a 1A, 1B situation, okay? It's
Stop.
Puka 1,
I know you're going
Cup
Puka.
2.
Yeah, oh, of course.
I gotta stick to
man.
my BYU boys, man.
Yeah.
I gotta stick to him. He's
Your
from...
BYU boys.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta stick with him. I'm not a BYU fan even, but I like BYU. It's funny.
Hey, I
It's
get
funny.
it.
You know,
It is
Mormons
funny.
aren't allowed to have phones, so, like, they won't even hear this. But I love you guys.
Mormons aren't allowed to hear things. Either,
Taysom.
so.
Hey,
True.
Taysom Hill. Do
Wait,
I
hold
know
on.
Mormon?
I'll scare him
Yeah,
away. I'll
absolutely.
talk about soda. I'll go get a soda out of my fridge and start drinking it. And
R-rated movies.
Oh.
R-rated movies. Bad words.
Ankles,
bad words.
ankles. Yeah, I love Puka Nakua. I love the
Yeah.
Mormons. Is
Yeah.
Puka Nakua Mormon?
Probably. I don't know. I think
Hold
you're
on.
supposed to
I
be.
don't know.
Nakua. Well, like
This is important.
Jamal
This is
Williams
important
is
in
a
my
Mormon.
outcome because
It
does
is
he have God on
unclear.
his side is the question.
It
It's
is
unclear.
Puka's Nakua. It just said that like in big bold font when I look it up on Google.
Unclear.
It is unclear. Puka Nakua's religion is not widely known, but he was raised in Utah, where the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has a sizable presence. Puka's family has Polynesian ancestry, and he was born in the United States. It is unclear whether Puka Nakua adheres to the Mormon faith.
Wow. Okay.
A lot of
I
Polynesian
wonder-
ancestry is
I wonder
Mormon,
how
though.
recent that Polynesian switch from Utah is, because if they made that move specifically to Utah, that would make me think that they did it for a Mormonistic reason.
well,
Yeah.
you know that's a big thing. The Polynesian Mormons, like
Yeah,
Samoan, like
yeah,
it's a big thing, which I didn't know
But that,
until
that would
2
make
weeks ago. I was
sense.
talking to a guy who like knew a bunch of Mormons, and he was like, "Yeah, there's a ton of Samoan Mormons where he was
Interesting. Yeah,
as
My mom
So-
grew up there for a bit, and it was definitely
in Utah."
Yep.
Yeah.
So did
Really?
Matt's or Joe's dad.
Oh, we leaked Joe's dad's name.
Oh
my
Oh no! Oh no! Please don't find him.
But yeah, it is interesting. I guess I didn't know there was a large Polynesian population in Utah. It's kind of interesting.
Well, now you
actually.
do. Hey,
I do.
100%. Yeah.
we're learning a lot.
fact-
We're learning
fact- of the
Wow.
week.
What were we talking about?
Graham, what do you
something
think about
less
Cup and
important than
Nakua?
that.
Oh yeah.
Graham, do you have an
Cup and
opinion?
Nakua.
Okay, I think I need to see another week. I think if Cooper
Yeah.
Cup's on top this next week, and it's by a sizable amount, it's Cooper Cup 1,
Yeah.
Puka 2. Okay? If we see another big week from Puka, I think it's 1A, Cooper Cup, 1B, Puka Nakua.
Man, I mean, this
Absolutely.
is tough
And I
to
think-
predict. Tough.
We've
Yeah.
seen that Puka Nakua could be is a wide receiver 1
Yes,
capable
absolutely.
guy.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, if he was on a different team, he's the one.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the fact that he's
tough.
on a team with Cooper Cup, that's a really good receiving room. It's really tough
And I'm
to
so
predict
glad that
fantasy-wise.
Cooper Cup was out and he got to have some time to
Yeah,
himself.
that's
so
good
we
for the
can see
Rams.
that.
Honestly, they discovered him, but
Yeah, they were able to, yeah.
I think the consensus is 1A Cup, 1B Puka. But if it continues the way it's going,
I'm not part of that consensus.
That's not what Logan was thinking.
well, too bad. We gotta fly through start sits and waivers.
Oh, we are already at 50 minutes on this recording.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead with my starts. I'll go fast. I got Jahmyr Gibbs versus Las Vegas. Dave Montgomery right now not expected to play, and even if he does, I think Gibbs will get more touches with him in the lineup. Gibbs showed a lot versus a good Ravens defense. I think against a not so great Raiders defense.
That's one of mine.
I
as well.
think Gibbs has another breakout week on the receiving and rushing end. Next, I've got Zay Flowers versus Arizona. Not a good secondary there, and he I don't want to say feasted. He had a really good game against the Lions secondary, which is a solid one, banged up but a solid unit. And Zay Flowers he's emerging as a really good deep threat for MVP candidate Lamar Jackson. So start him this week. And then I've got George Pickens, who's kind of on a tear recently. He had a really good game against the Rams, had some nice catches. And then he's playing Jacksonville this week, so I think it's a solid matchup. And George Pickens, high-quality player, great run blocker. He's on the field a lot. Start George Pickens. I think he has a big game against Jacksonville. Solid matchup. So
Injury alert. Jordan Addison just got hurt.
oh, live.
Ooh, live.
He's clutching his right foot in pain.
Dang.
So
So Graham, what are your
I
starts?
like those starts. So, like you said, I've got Jahmyr Gibbs on there. I think he's just going to consistently – he'll get a touchdown now. And especially in that offense, he'll get a lot of rushing attempts, I think, in the future weeks. So he'll be a good option. You said George Pickens. I've got Deontay Johnson, who off of some missed time had a good performance.
Yeah. One
solid
big
one.
catch.
It wasn't, like, amazing,
Mhm.
but like, yeah, he had a big catch. I'm hoping this year he can get a touchdown because I had him last year in fantasy, and he did not get a single touchdown all year.
There's
He
room for
was
optimism.
Horrible.
Room
But
for
this
optimism.
year, there's definitely room for that. And then my last start is going to be Cortland Sutton. I think they play the Chiefs. I think they're going to be down quick. Sorry, Logan. And I think they're going to be passing. And Cortland Sutton's been a much bigger factor in that offense than Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
True. All right, Logan.
Okay, my starts, I went back and forth on this guy. I erased him on both sides and then settled on him starting instead of sitting. Because it's a decent run defense. They kind of struggled last week. He's going to get a lot of carries. I think Kareem Hunt versus the Seahawks. Just, yeah, I think it could be good. Could be also really bad. Boomer bust pick.
Feeling. Good gut feeling.
Get him. Start him. I think he gets a touchdown.
Yeah, with Jerome Ford out, yeah.
I thought about Pickens and Johnson. I ended up going with Pickens. I think he's a rest of the year type of guy. I think it's a guy
George
you can ride
Pickens,
out.
yep.
I think he can be a solid receiver too on your team. I think he's going to get a lot of targets. He's the bona fide receiver one. That offense is starting to kind of get something going, maybe.
It looked good.
And then this one's risky. This one's bad. This
Ooh,
one
I like
could
it.
end up being bad. Against the Rams, Graham's boys, I got Brandon Cooks.
Ooh.
I think-
Whoa, that's out of left field.
I think this Rams secondary is not very good, and I think they've been playing over their skill for the next
Agreed.
2 weeks. I think they're going to have to focus on CD. They're going to have to. I think they could get cooked maybe once to get a deep ball off to Brandon Cooks.
They got
So you're basically counting on a Brandon Cooks touchdown, which he got the last week he played. So
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
It was
Yeah,
it
man.
was
I see
a
it.
good week for the Steelers offense against that Rams defense. I'll kick us off with sits, and unfortunately, Logan and I are both. If you're a fan of this
The coach
podcast,
could
you'll
do
know
it.
that every time Logan and I sit Washington running back Brian Robinson, he gets a touchdown on a non-efficient game. So we are unfortunately sitting Brian Robinson this week against the Philadelphia Eagles. Bad
Unfortunately.
matchup for him. He hasn't been too efficient recently, but that probably means he's going to get a touchdown. But still sit him. Sit Brian Robinson. We'll see. And then I've got Jerry Jeudy versus Kansas City. Kansas City's got a good defense. They're cooking up some good defense over there. Good corners. And Jeudy has not been very productive recently. Really not living up to the first-round pick expectation, obviously. And I've got Rashad White.
Neither is Sean
Buccaneers. True. I've got Rashad White, Buccaneers running back versus Buffalo. Really tough
We should make
matchup.
a rule. We should make a rule where we can not sit Rashad White anymore.
You think?
I feel like we've sat him a lot
Well,
Payton. Yeah, because
I haven't
because
done
he's
yet.
not.
I haven't done yet.
Okay,
so
continue.
I get to sit Rashad White. Tough matchup. He's not super efficient, and I think they might shut down the passing game, which is a lot of his volume. So go ahead and feel free to sit Rashad White versus Buffalo. Graham, you take it.
I'll do it.
Am I
No,
six?
I got it.
Oh no, go ahead. There you go.
I got
There you
it.
go.
Oh, I've got Brian Robinson too, as Joe
Yeah.
said.
He'll probably score
Probably
a touchdown.
Lock him in for a
Probably.
touchdown. I have a guy. I'll probably start him. I think this guy's a start or a sit every single week for me.
But
I
he's
just
your
got to
sit.
do it, But he's
your
my
sit.
sit this week. Gabe Davis against Tampa. I just hate him.
Yeah, fair.
And then this one, lock in, buckle up, guys. I've got Josh Jacobs at Detroit, man.
Ooh.
I
that's
think
fair.
he's gonna get shut down.
I
think
almost
he's
put
gonna
that
get shut
down. I almost put that down.
He's not.
Yeah,
He's not
Very
that guy
inefficient
anymore.
this year.
I
The
don't know
line
if
isn't good.
I don't think that team's that guy
No.
anymore. I
The
think
line-
True.
he's all right.
The line's not playing great. He's
Yeah,
been
I
inefficient,
could see him
unfortunately.
getting like 8 catches and then this gets ruined. But
True.
I don't think he'll be doing much on the ground. Graham, what you got?
All right, so I'm going to kick us off with a guy. I'm kind of sad to start him because he's a good player. He's been a good player.
You mean sit?
Yeah, sit him. It's Zach Moss. He's just not the one anymore.
Sad.
Jonathan Taylor's getting more work. Zach Moss has really stepped up on the Colts.
Absolutely.
He's a great running back, too, on the team. He's just not really startable anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also playing New Orleans defense, which is
Tough.
a rough defense to play. Unless you're Travis Etienne and you're the GOAT. So then I've got, same team, Michael Pittman. I say this a lot, I feel like. I don't think I said it this week, but he only had 2 catches. And one was like an 80-yard touchdown. And, again, this is New Orleans defense. I think, is Marshawn Lattimore still out? Or was he out?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I wouldn't think so.
Okay, no, I know why I thought that. I was looking up an injury report, and it accidentally took me to the 2022 one for week 2.
Oh.
And so I was looking, I was like, who is this guy? It was like some random Arizona corner that was out in that game.
Yeah.
And I was like, what on earth? And I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, no, that
It's-
was last year.
it's
So
kinda interesting
if
to
you didn't
see-
catch it from last year, Marshawn Lattimore was out.
It's interesting to see how Pittman's targets have gone down since Gardner took over, but I don't know. Just keep an eye on
Since
that. I
Josh
guess.
Downs stepped up.
Yeah. Graham, you got anything else?
Yes. I've also got Tyler Lockett against the Browns defense.
Oh,
He's been
Okay.
much less consistent
Yeah.
than
Since
previous years of
Jake Bobo's arrival.
UCLA legend. Let's fly through
And
waivers.
I've
No,
got
no.
wacky waivers. Come on.
All right. Let's fly through waivers. I'll kick us off. I've got Jackson Smith and Jigba, like 11th overall pick for the Seahawks. The wide
Real
receiver.
ones already have him. Real ones
Had
already have him.
4 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown. It was sort of it was his best game of the season with DK Metcalf out. So definitely worth a waiver pickup. I've got Amari DiMarcado, Cardinals rookie
I
running
also
back.
had Amari DiMarcado.
Because James Conner's out. He got 13 carries and 4 receptions. Just good volume for the rookie, and he looks pretty solid this season. So give him a waiver pickup for the Cardinals. Pretty good volume. And then I've got, with Dawson Knox dealing with a wrist injury, go pick up Dalton Kincaid. Go pick up Dalton Kincaid, the rookie tight end for the Bills.
Yep.
8 targets, 8 receptions for 75 yards on Sunday. He had a
Stud.
great game.
You have 2.
He is a stud.
I also had him, so
Phenomenal receiver. Go pick up Dalton Kincaid. It's time. He's going to break out. So those are mine.
yeah. I'm going to go next because I only have one that differed from Joe.
Yeah.
And that is Deonta Foreman. Had an absolutely stellar week.
Yes.
He could be the one going on. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
so, but maybe. And he's going to be good until Khalil Herbert gets back, so that's
Yeah.
that's a bonus.
And then, Graham, what were the 2 you had that were mine? You had
Kincaid
DiMarcado.
and who's the first one?
DiMarcado.
Yeah,
All right, Logan.
and Kincaid.
Okay, I've got a guy. He's only going to be good for like the next 3-4 weeks, and he's also might not be that good. But if you
Okay.
need running back, Darrell Henderson had 18 carries.
I love him. I
Last
love
week.
Joe Henderson.
I have pretty neutral opinions on Darrell
He's
Henderson,
back.
Yeah,
but I think
I
Cortland
also love
Sutton.
Darrell Henderson.
Cortland Sutton's on waivers in a lot of leagues, and I think
Yep.
Really?
he looked great last week.
He did.
And then Demario Douglas he could be a late season winner, man.
Patriots wide receiver.
He
Looking
might be
good.
the best receiver they have, which is a low bar, but
Yeah.
Nah, it's
He
good.
might
It
be.
is. Kendrick Bourne's great.
Kendrick's
so we
a
got.
legend.
I believe we have 2 more segments. Let's hit up Keaton Mitchell update. Logan.
Ooh,
big win
Keaton
for
Mitchell,
us.
it's a huge win for us
Yep.
Keaton
it's a
Mitchell fans.
huge
Round
win.
of applause.
He had, yep, ECU legend on the Ravens, 2 snaps on offense.
Yep.
Okay, he had 10 snaps on special teams.
Man,
A little bit of a hamstring injury. He's week to week. He could play next week though, so nothing too
Okay.
big. But hamstring injuries are scary, you know. Here's where it comes big. 1 catch for 9 yards.
Yes.
Yep.
We win as a podcast when Keaton Mitchell gets a carry. He undrafted.
We win as a
we predicted it.
society. We win as a society.
Oh, yeah.
We
The
win as
committee
a
wins.
as a nation.
And there's
Committee wins.
he recorded on special teams he had one assisted tackle.
Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep, one
He's
assisted
versatile.
tackle. He
that
can
all
do
we-
it all.
Is
He
that
can
all
do
we
it
got
all.
for Keaton Mitchell update?
That's all we got, man. His
All right,
usage is
so,
expected to skyrocket.
Yep. Any week now. He's great. Who's got fantasy injury report? I think it's Graham.
Wait, should we do upset?
I've got the injury.
Oh, upset of the week. I totally forgot about that.
I want to talk about mine. I
jeez.
want to talk about mine.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right,
I
go
got
ahead.
the battle for MetLife happened in this week. Giants over Jets. Who says no?
Ugh.
Who says
What
no?
an awful game. What an awful game.
Yeah, but give me the Giants. I hate the
Giants?
Jets.
I say no. I also don't like the Jets
No.
very much, but I also hate the Giants, so don't give me the Giants.
I love the Giants, man. Give me Saquon 160 rushing yards.
I love Saquon, but
And Azeez Ojulari 6 sacks. Is he hurt still? I think he's back. Azeez Ojulari 6 sacks.
Azeez
My Madden
Ojulari.
franchise legend. He had 25 sacks 4 seasons in a row on my Madden franchise.
dang.
I guess I will go next.
I've
I
got
forgot to
mine.
do this,
Oh, okay.
so I'm looking at the spreads right now. And
Ooh.
one that sticks out to me, we've got Packers at -1.5 over Vikings. Give me Vikings over Packers.
Oh,
I think the Vikings have the better
That's fair.
offense, and I think
True.
they'll pull it out. Jordan Love's struggling right now, so I think Vikings take advantage, and I think Vikings win that. So
And
that's
are they
mine.
still beating the 49ers? Because if so,
Should be.
that's worrisome for it. Yep, they're still beating the 49ers.
Graham?
So, yeah. My upset this week is Browns over Seahawks. I think the Browns have one of the best defenses in the league. They are looking amazing. The only concern is their offense.
Yeah.
stinks.
Deshaun Watson's not that
but-
good.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see it happening, especially because they have the refs on their side.
Yeah, every week, apparently.
Yeah.
So
And I would take
stupid.
the Colts over the Seahawks, so I'm going, since they beat the Colts.
Oh,
I'm gonna go
that's
Browns
good
over
thinking.
Seahawks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Graham, you got the injury report?
I do. So I've got two recent ones I'm just going to state. I don't know how grave these are, but as we stated, Jordan Addison
Yep.
is hurt. We don't know how bad. This just happened.
The foot.
And then just in as well, T.J. Hawkinson was helped off the field with what looked like
Okay.
to be an ankle injury,
Okay.
which is crazy because Logan is playing against a guy who has both of those players in fantasy. So
Yeah,
it's
we'll
down
see.
to his last leg. But yeah, so for the rest of these,
Literally.
Dawson Knox is
Is
out with a wrist
Indefinitely.
injury. He's
Out
getting
indefinitely.
surgery, right?
should be.
Yep.
Should be.
So that's why we're voting on Kincaid there. DK Metcalf was out with a rib injury. He'll be back soon, most likely.
Yep.
Christian Watson has been a weird one. He's like popped up as questionable every week.
Yeah.
He's got a knee issue right now. Just like
It's a weird
Jalen
season in
Hurts
Green Bay.
also has a knee. Yeah. Jalen Hurts has a knee injury.
Yeah.
Probably not too bad. He'll probably play. David Montgomery's going to be back, I think, not this week, but next week, most likely, or the
Okay.
following. He'll be back in not
So
too long.
That'll be week 9, right?
Week 9, yes.
Yeah.
Debo Samuel out with a shoulder injury. No one cares.
Greg Dulcich on
He's
IR
basically Calvin Ridley.
Wow.
for the
No one
second
cares
time this
about Greg
season.
Dulcich.
2-time IR member.
And then we've got, lastly, an update on a guy. Jerome Ford has a low-grade high ankle sprain. So that'll
Yep.
be 1 to 2 weeks.
But if that's all we got, this has been episode 7 of Podcast by Committee. Thank you for being our committee. Go follow us on all social media, all podcasting sites under Podcast by Committee. Go follow, go share, go listen. We got a lot of editing to do, but that's all. That's all we got. So thank you so much for listening. We hope you have a great
All right.
week. The best week
Yeah,
ever.
thank you,
actually.
guys.
I
We'll
hope
have
it
the
is the
best
best
week
week
ever.
ever.
Poor
We're all
guy.
cheering for Dalton Kincaid and Amari DiMarcado. So go pick them up. Hope you guys have a great week. We love you,
Love you.
committee. We love you. Everyone make hearts. Everyone make hearts.
They can't see it, Joe. It's a podcast.